Alright, so I finally decided to record a video instead of writing on the forum because I think it's easier just this way to explain what is going on, what I think it's going on wrong with, I mean, at least from what I know with the Garmin 1000. So this right now I'm flying the Cessna 206, I think it is, but it's exactly the same problem with the Cessna 172, and I guess with all the other planes that have the Garmin 1000 system. I don't know if any of you guys have experienced the same problem, but I have not seen it on the forums so far, so that's why I'm making this video. Alright, so let's say you want to create a flight plan in another way, in a different way than from you usually do it before this, when the game has engaged already, yeah, right? You know what I mean on the previous page where you can set your flight plan and everything. So let's say you don't do it there, you want to do it once you already started your flight or you're still on the ground taxiing or doing your run up, whatever. So would what we usually do would be um, here on the FMS rotate and select nearest, right? Depending on where you want to go. Then you would go and choose, let's say right now I'm on Merritt Island in Florida. You would go from, I mean, you don't wouldn't really have to choose where you're at, like the system would detect where you are at just by the GPS, I guess. What you would need to do is select where you're going to. So let's say I want to go to Titusville, which is quite close from Merritt Island, KTX. You will scroll down all the way to that point and then select direct course to, right? So that's what you would do. You select direct and you activate. Press enter. There, like a basic flight plan will be created, which is what's happening here. You see like a direct straight line already tinted, and this will serve its purpose if you were doing a direct flight to that airport. But what if you want to do like a procedure? Let's say do an approach at that airport. Then you have to select approach, excuse me, and here you will select the approach and choose whatever approach you want to do. Let's say ILS, RNAV, whatever you want to do if there's any more options here. VORs, etc. So let's say you want to do a ILS, right? So you click on enter. You will pick the transition if there's any. I think there's a transition here, but there's none that can be selected, I guess, from lack of information on the sim. It wouldn't really matter that much because you already have the sequence here, which is a WANI, which is the, if I'm not wrong, is the initial approach fix, and then Jor, which is the final approach fix, and then of course the runway, which is the missed approach point, right? So what we would do, we'll click load or activate. It wouldn't really matter right now, and then just press enter. So here in the map, what the system should be doing is creating a point from your departure point towards a WANI, which is somewhere around here, direct, and then towards your final approach fix, and then to the airport. But it's not happening as you can see. Nothing is happening. If I go on flight plan, then you will see that still only showing user KTX as the only two waypoints on this particular setup. So what I've figured out so far, also with I think it was Clumsy and Pilot Emily, they gave a little bit of a tutorial on how to fix this, sort of, is just inputting it directly, right? Going it directly to your approach, or inputting directly the information here as you want it to be. And to do that, we'll have to delete this, and it will just kind of start over. But in this case, we will have to like select first our departure point, which it's Kilo Charlie Oscar India. and enter, and then gate takes us our destination. And you know, this already poses a problem. Let's say you want to be you're just VFR flying, and then you encounter clouds, and you're playing on VATSIM or whatever, and you want to file an IFR flight plan. Then it's just making it a lot more difficult for you to be looking for the fixes, right? And inserting them into the flight plan one by one. Of course, you have the autopilot here, but what if you want, I don't know, let's say you want to fly manually. You wouldn't be able to. Like, you could be doing it, but it's just increasing the workload on the pilot a lot more just because it's not done properly. So, okay, we managed to do this. We create an initial en route waypoints, which is direct to KTX. And then we try to select an approach. We go to select approach. Let's do ILS 36 again, and then we click on activate. So let's see what happens now. So it's a completely different story. Now we have the en route between Kilo Charlie Oscar India and Kilo Tango India X-ray, but an approach is set up also here, which is the ILS 36. What's the problem with this one? As you can see, there's like an arc being created by the GPS system, which is not sending us directly to a Winnie, which should be the way it should be done. And it is actually how it works on the real, at least I've tried it on the Cessna 172. I don't know if any other planes with the Garmin 1000 systems, but at least on the Cessna, it does work this way. It would send you not directly to a Winnie, give you like a slight arc here so you can turn and intercept the fix right on top of it and not, like, you know, overshoot or anything. But in this case, it's just giving us an extreme big arc that doesn't make much sense to me, at least. So, and it's not like I said, it's not like on the real airplane. So another way to overcome this that I've found is between our en route points, create like another fix, which would be, in this case, our initial approach fix, which is a Winnie. Right? We created this way, a Winnie. And by doing it this way, it will send us directly to a Winnie, and therefore it will initiate the approach on the right way. The problem if we don't do this and we decide to like fly it straight to a Winnie without following the arc, it will never change towards the next fix. It will stay stuck with the arc as the main let's say segment of the approach, and never move over to the next one. So the information here for the distance towards the next fix will always be wrong, and you wouldn't be able to like measure the distance in case you were doing, let's say, not an ILS but just a localizer. You wouldn't be able to measure the distance properly like the way it should be done. That's why basically you use the GPS, right, to measure the distance between waypoints so you can know what altitude you have to be at. If we don't insert this like fix in the en route, it will never be able to tell you that, because it will be stuck in this arc like forever. Even if you're in your already on the approach, it will still be stuck here and not tell you the right distance towards your destination on the approach. So yeah, besides that, what else about this? Another problem. Let's say you are you are not on an airport, okay? Let's say you are en route already. You erase all of this. You are en route flying already somewhere in the I don't know, Gulf airspace or Echo airspace, and you request an approach anywhere. Let's say Orlando International, okay? And you try to insert the information again, and to do that approach, try to do the same thing that I just did. But the problem when you are anywhere on the map and you're not on an airport in particular, then there's no way that you can select. I mean, not that I've found so far that you can select a point in the middle of the map, like in the middle of nowhere, and then input it here, and then select your destination. You know what I mean? And if I select like again, if I try to do it this way, like let's say I'm mid-air already. Let's just try to take off and try to demonstrate it directly. I'm not at the controls right now, so my takeoff might be a little bit funky, but let's try anyways. I'm overspeeding on the torque, but okay, yeah. Flaps up. Let's gain some airspeed. All right, and let's try to turn on the autopilot. Let's bring this a little bit down. Okay, the autopilot for heading mode. Let's say heading 250, and let's put altitude select. Let's do 3000. Okay, let's go this way. All right. So let's imagine if we're just flying with autopilot or without it, and we talk to an approach and we request that we want to do an approach, whatever approach in a particular airport. In this example would be Orlando International, right? So usually what you would just do on the real plane is go nearest, then select, search for the airport. Here it is, KMCO. Select direct. But this is the easiest way, and it's how you usually do it. At least that's how they taught it to me at my school. So I guess it's the way it's supposed to be done. In any case, it's pretty easy to do it this way, anyways. So we click on enter, and then it activates, right? So it's a straight line. We can fly it straight line, but usually approach will give you vectors, and if you request like an ILS, or they give you an ILS or a GPS approach in particular, then you have to set it up on the MFD, correct? So what we would do is select approach, whatever approach they give us, and then from the list select it, and then load or activate, right? So when we click on enter to load it or activate it to go straight to the initial approach fix, nothing happens. The fly plan just disappears. It still says user to KMCO, but the line is gone. So if I select nav mode now, nothing's gonna happen, because I mean it's turning. Actually, it is turning. I don't know where, because I cannot see it here. I'm guessing it's turning towards Orlando, right? But how? I'll never know, because I don't see it here. It's gone. Yeah, I think it's even going to Orlando, but the approach is gone. Like I cannot see it on the not on the information at the top, or not on the flight plan itself. It's not set up. So let's say you wanna still do it. you will have to, like I showed you before, guys, go and look it up. What's the initial approach fix on the on that particular approach, and set it up here. You know, write it, like look it up letter by letter, right, and insert it. Correct. But okay, let's say we insert it and it goes towards that point. Usually when you do an approach on big airports, the the ATC will not give you a route directly to your initial approach fix. They might send you to an intermediate fix or to the final approach fix directly, just to save time, let's say for traffic or whatever. And I cannot think of a way this can be done if you don't have the option to select like vectors. You know, there's like an option, from what I remember, there should be an option that it says vectors, like here on procedures. Like when you select an approach, there should be an option that says use vectors, right? So it would send you, I mean, it would follow whatever route you go to, but it will like realize that you are moving forward to the next fix because you're being vectored by ATC. So that will be like a lot. Yeah, we're going directly to KMCO. That will be like a lot more helpful if we had the vector option, but I have not seen it here, and I don't know if it can be like implemented, which has helped a little bit, but still hasn't solved these issues that I'm seeing here. Sorry if I'm not being completely clear on what I'm trying to say, but if you know the Garmin system a little bit, then you will probably understand that it's not working on the way it should be. And I guess by doing a video, it would be a lot easier for you guys to understand, and maybe whoever is on the development of this add-on to maybe fix this and make it work properly. Because otherwise, like when you are doing an approach and flying the airplane, having to input the additional fixes and on the approach, for the approach, it's a lot more complicated. And okay, let's try it out right now. Like, let me see what's the procedure for ILS 18 right. I think I have it on my phone here. Flyplane Go. By the way, if you haven't used this app yet, Flyplane Go is pretty good for all the instrument approaches and diagrams that you may need. They have them all, and it's for free. It's pretty good. So I looked it up. ILS localizer runway 18 right. All right. So let's say they vector us to the intermediate fix, right? Which is naval or naval, NAVAL. We will have to go here and insert it ourselves. Naval. Let's say ADC is vectoring us to that fix, right? We'll have to insert it here all the way. Look letter by letter. And then activate it, and it should work, hopefully. Yeah. You see, like, it still says user from our initial point of when I created the plan. And now I don't know what it's trying to do. I think it's trying to go back to where we started. So I'm guessing I'll have to erase this all and do it again. Like select nearest. Sorry. Oh, what's going on? Okay, nearest, yeah. Nearest airports. Okay, MCO, there we go. Activate. Alright, so now it's trying to go again. Then we go on flight plan and we type it down again. It's already here. Right. So this is the way the autopilot, I mean the system is doing it now, right? I don't know if it's going to turn. Oh yeah, we'll have to. Oh yeah, I didn't click on navigate. But now that I click it, it will start turning. Yeah, it's turning to go to naval and then towards our destination. But the problem here is, since I don't have an initial en route point like an airport, I'm not able. I don't know why. I don't know how to do it. Anyways, so far is to select a procedure. If I select an approach, let's try. I don't know. Before I tried, it wouldn't be able to. Like, I mean, transition. There's only one. But like you see, it's here, the one that I already selected. But sometimes ADC will send you directly to this one and not to the initial approach fix, which is probably somewhere around here, further back. So I already inputted this one on the en route flight plan. And if we go and on load or activate, nothing will happen. It will just get erased. And I'm thinking it is because remember when we had Kilo Charlie Oscar India and Kilo Tango India X-ray here, since I had two airports selected, it was able to like create an approach towards that airport from my departure point. But since I have a user here and only a destination, then for whatever reason it's not being able to like insert the procedure. So I mean, I don't know guys, if you have any feedback, if you have any information additional to what I know so far, I would really appreciate for you guys to share it with me, because I'm a little bit lost. Like, I've been trying to fly, I've been using VATSIM, and I mean, do it with the tools that I have, right? You guys also know that we have the VORs, which are also useful for doing ILSs. For, let's say, if I want to do a GPS approach, I wouldn't be able to do the GPS approach. It's just not letting me to insert. Let's say, let's try an RNAV GPS. And activate it. Yeah, nothing's happening. It just remains the same. I'm flying straight into the airport without any much else happening. So yeah, I would appreciate any feedback, and if you guys can help me reach the developers of this particular add-on, so they can work on this. Maybe they know a little bit more, or maybe they have not noticed it, or they're just waiting for additional feedback to fix it. I hope this video is useful and we can work it out together. Thank you for watching and listening. Have a good one.